game.
Operation Raccoon City is set during the events of Resident Evil 2 and 3, except this time you're with the bad guys. Not the zombies, the other bad guys. The city is overrun with zombies, and you begin the game as a member of the Umbrella Security Service. It's your job to destroy all evidence showing Umbrella's illegal activities that have led to this outbreak.
You'll be pushing through Umbrella facilities and eventually onto the streets of Raccoon City, where everything has pretty much gone to hell. Not only will you be fighting the infected, but you'll also be caught in a constant crossfire with special operations soldiers who are out to expose Umbrella for the monsters they are.
What's going on in there?
This game is 4-player co-op online, but don't even think about playing this on your own. Your teammate AI will quite happily stand around and do nothing while your face is being ripped off. Thanks, guys.
In fairness, we aren't on the final code and we couldn't test out the co-op or go online with this, which is pretty much the main focus of the game, so we hit a bit of a difficulty wall about halfway through.
Yeah, and it also means we couldn't test out the whole other side to the campaign, which is the special ops. But there is some interesting stuff in this game, and why don't we talk about that? Firstly, the bleed mechanic, which is excellent. During all the crossfire that goes on between you and the zombies and the other soldiers, one way to take the zombies' attention off yourself is to mortally wound one of the opposing forces. This causes them to bleed and drives the zombies crazy.
Among the many weapons to unlock, some are better for this strategy than others. You know, getting bleeds isn't easy, and half the time you'll do it by accident, but there's a maniacal joy in just watching those zombies go for an enemy badge. Go, my pretties, go! Of course, it's not so fun when it happens to you. You can also become infected, which then can turn into full-blown zombieism, and you'll lose control and attack your friends.
I think that would be such a fun mechanic online, putting down your friends for the sake of the team. The thing I like most about these zombies, Hex, is their determination. Even when they've lost a couple of arms, they'll still come at you. I like zombies with gumption. There's a good variety of enemies. You've got your skinless lickers, head crabs on a vacation from Half-Life, and some other familiar, tougher enemies as well.
There are heaps of enemies on screen, which is nice, but there aren't many models, so sometimes it just felt like this was a city filled with clones of the same chick in a miniskirt or the cop.
Yeah, I guess it's to save on hardware, but that cop sure does get around. When it comes to zombies, you can get away with the AI being a little bit dodgy. They don't really have any intelligence anyway. But sadly, the soldiers in this game aren't much better. They don't take cover very well, and they don't take bullets in a very believable way. And you'll see them do a spot of dancing.
Get your hands up, get your hands up, yeah, get your hands up.
In fact, the zombies dance now and then too.
Make you put your hands up in the air, wave them like you just don't care.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit undercooked overall, and the third-person mechanics I thought were a little bit hit and miss. Getting into cover is very fluid. You automatically just slot into it when you push against a wall, and it's rare that it doesn't work for you. But now and then you'll hide behind something that you think you can shoot from, but you can't. And many grenades hit invisible walls or the cover you're hiding behind.
Dropping a grenade right at your feet is the last thing you want when you need to clear some enemies and get some breathing room. Plus, it's totally embarrassing. I also found the buttons a bit unresponsive in general, and it's common with Resident Evil games to not let you do one thing while doing something else, but I feel like if you're going to craft an action-orientated game like this, you really need all of that to be much more responsive. Switching weapons only worked about half the time for me because it's also the same button that lets you enter this Geometry Wars style quickfire thing, which isn't bad, but the pistols are so weak you're always better off just legging it to find some ammo instead.
Yeah, I never got used to that. Also, you can't vault or combat roll, but you can dramatically hit the floor. Get down. I like that you run out of ammo a lot, which is common for this series. When the action works, it's just, it's thrilling. This is a class-based shooter too, which is a good direction to go in, and each class has their own special active and passive abilities you can purchase and upgrade. There's a medic, also demolition grenade, zombie and human thermal vision, and our favourite, the tactical cloak. I love the way that cloak looked, Bajo, but overall the visuals in the console were plagued with vertical tearing, and once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. Also, I found it a little bit dark at times.
Yeah, it is a dark game. There's one particular room where I had to destroy 5 bits of evidence and I could not find the 5th one. 15, 20 minutes walking around hugging the walls, just pushing a button trying to destroy something.
Command, the evidence has been destroyed.
And I think the main problem with the visuals in this game is it comes down to an inelegant use of light. If you look at games like Dead Space or Left 4 Dead, the way they use light to guide the player towards ammo and weapons and the next objective, it's all very on purpose. And I felt it was a bit random here, and I'd find myself walking to things on the ground and things I saw, like in that graveyard, that I thought was ammo or something I could use, but it was just decoration. That inconsistency is a bit frustrating.
Yeah, but I think we're definitely being too harsh in this game because, well, for example, Left 4 Dead isn't much fun to play on your own, but once you jump in there with friends, it becomes an incredible game, and I think this could be a really good game too as soon as we manage to get online with it. So after about 8 hours with this game, we came to the decision that without being able to test out the online or the versus mode, which is pretty much the focus of this game, it wouldn't be fair to score it. But, we could probably come back to this with an online update or maybe talk about it next week. I'm really keen to get online with it though, and I think it has potential.
Yeah, me too. I had a quick go of the cooperative play at the Expo last year, and I have good memories of that. So I think for now, I'm giving it a something out of 10.
Yes, it's a something out of 10 from me too. To be continued.